Now let's look at what's happening in Thailand. We told you yesterday about the upcoming election. Today we'll focus on a major issue that's dividing Thai voters: marijuana. That's right, political parties are sparring over the future of weed in Thailand. They legalized marijuana last year. Well, sort of. The government made a technical move. It removed cannabis from Thailand's narcotics list. So it's technically not illegal anymore. But there are no ground rules on growing and consuming weed. Before the government could work on those, it was disbanded for the election. And this regulatory vacuum has triggered a debate. How should weed be handled in Thailand? That's what political parties can't agree on. And believe it or not, it has become a major election issue in the country. Here's a report.
Thailand is going to polls on Sunday. It's a tough election for the military junta and Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha. A lot of Thai people are sick of their economic mismanagement. However, one issue may work out in their favor: marijuana. Yes, believe it or not, Thailand's marijuana legalization may benefit the military. Here's how. Last year, Thailand removed cannabis from its narcotics list. It was done by the ruling coalition under General-turned-PM Chan-o-cha. His coalition included local parties from regions in Thailand that grow cannabis, so cannabis was no longer illegal. But there were no real laws surrounding its cultivation and sale. No one was sure what was allowed and what wasn't, and to no one's surprise, people took advantage of the legal grey area. Marijuana dispensaries started cropping up everywhere, both medical and otherwise. People were selling joints, edibles, and everything in between. Tourists were flocking to Thailand like never before. But there's always a dark side, like children having easy access to marijuana. Cops shaking down tourists who didn't know they couldn't smoke weed in public. It was bedlam. It still is. And people want to know what's allowed and what's not.
I think they should be more clear about the rules about weed, cannabis, and how people can smoke inside or not. Just make more clear about the rules. Because right now it's like 50-50 about everything. So
the government was going to pass legislation to regulate cannabis this year, but they faced resistance in parliament. Eventually, the government's term lapsed ahead of the upcoming polls. It was disbanded before it could pass marijuana regulation laws. So the next government will have to take care of it, and Thailand's political parties are in a fix. Despite its reputation as a tourism hub, Thailand, especially rural Thailand, is a conservative place. There has been public outrage over images of stoned children. Some sections of people are afraid of what legalizing cannabis will do to Thai society. Of course, there are voices on the opposite side of the fence, like farmers who grow marijuana. Many believe that the crop is their cash cow. They're backing their local parties who have promised to make weed legal and expand the industry. At the national level, the biggest parties are in a bind. Both of the parties leading in polls are courting the youth vote. These are the Pure Thai Party and the Move Forward Party. They have projected themselves to be the change makers. Move Forward in particular is fueled by young, hopeful voters. But both the PTP and Move Forward have said legalization happened too soon, that it needs to be reined in, and this has spooked some voters.
I think one of the reasons that people doesn't actually invest in cannabis right now, or they didn't put that much effort in cannabis, is that they're not certain that the industry is going to stay for long, right? So they're not going to invest millions in something that, say, if we have next elections, we're gonna go back into having all this into something illegal again. So people don't invest.
Ironically, in this debate, it's the largest military-backed parties that are seen as progressive. That's mostly because they've maintained a studied silence on the topic of cannabis. The studied silence, plus the fact that they were in power when weed was legalized, Thailand's junta might capture some of the rebellious youth vote.